Welcome to Holly's video for today. Today I want to talk about fear. I'm currently listening to Winston Churchill's exhaustive account of World War II, and the last few chapters I've listened to have been the lead up to the war. And I really want to think about the fact that fear played in the escalation of the hostilities, because most of them in their living memory had been through World War I, and it was pretty horrific. Millions and millions of people dead. Nobody wanted to enter into large-scale warfare again. Nobody wanted to risk the lives of the young men, the boundaries of their countries, to that sort of scale of warfare. But Hitler's menace was far-reaching and inevitable. And Churchill, being very, very subjective, obviously, in his own history, in his own narrative, likes to talk about the way that he saw the policies of delay, of appeasement, of rapprochement, in attempting to negotiate with a dictator. And he knew it wasn't going to work, so he says, but every country was guilty of this at some point, and they kept putting off acting. And he goes through so many times when people could have, like England or France, could have jumped in. When when Germany invaded Czechoslovakia, if France had jumped in and defended its own borders then, and it defended Czechoslovakia, if Britain had come to their aid, Germany may well have backed right off. When Germany invaded Poland, the Belgian government captured a German spy, which gave them all the plans that Hitler had for invading Belgium and Finland and France. If they collaborated and not stayed neutral and pounced then, the war may have been a lot shorter and in their favour. I mean, certainly we know from hindsight the Allies did win. But they didn't know that at the time, and there were 6 years of bloodshed and pain and destruction may have been avoided if the Allies had, of course, acted early. But nobody wanted to be responsible for entering into war. Nobody wanted to be responsible. And Hitler's plan was to make the Allies declare war on him. He would not formally declare war on anybody. And so he just kept on with his narrative of living space and Lebensraum and all that stuff. And it makes me think about now, like the climate we're in now. Obviously, the biggest thing at the moment is the coronavirus. And people are very afraid. And rightly so. It's a terrifying, almost pandemic. And people are dying in the thousands. But it's really important to remember that early action is important, but acting out of fear usually leads to more destruction. So we need to really think about how our fear impacts our judgment and what our motivator is. Is our motivator for buying up all the toilet paper in the supermarket fear, or is it sensible, practical preparation for perhaps being isolated? Is our buying all the pasta the same? Is our not wanting to let our kids go on play dates, is it fear, or is it just sense? We need to think about that. And I think that it's the same for the whole climate, with the whole political climate at the moment in America with Trump. There's so much fear going on there, but is America going to let that fear-based mentality elect another Trump, or are they going to elect somebody else in the next election later this year? We don't know, but it's really important to think about, is fear stopping us? This is the lesson, I suppose, that history has to teach us. Early action is important, whether you're afraid or not. But fear can lead us to make bad decisions, and we need to use our brains. Let's use our brains. Thanks for listening.